Welcome back. This is Mike Mulvaney, azlessor.com. I want to take a look at a couple more terms and definitions that are applicable to property management here in Arizona. So first of all, let's take a look at tenant. We talked earlier about who's the landlord. Now we want to look at who is the tenant. So if we look at the statute, again, this is 331310 in the Arizona Residential Landlord Tenant Act. It defines tenant as the person entitled under a rental agreement to occupy a dwelling to the exclusion of others. So this is the person or persons who are named as the occupants on the lease agreement and are responsible to uphold that part of the lease agreement. So if you're not on the lease agreement, you legally are not a tenant. You're an occupant, you're a guest, you might be Uncle Buck, but the tenant is the person or persons named on the rental agreement who are entitled to occupy the premises. And then those tenants, one of their responsibilities is to pay rent. What's rent? Rent is defined as the payments made to the landlord in full consideration for the rented premises. So it's the money you pay, the compensation you pay to the landlord for the right to occupy the rental unit. And then the third one is security. Almost always you will have security deposits required by a landlord to occupy the unit. Why do they take security deposits, and what is security? Security is defined as money or property that is given by the tenant to assure payment or performance under a rental agreement. To assure payment of the rent due or performance under the rental agreement. So I think we all pretty much clearly understand that the rent is the payment to occupy the property. But what do they mean by performance? Well, one of the things that you will usually see in a lease agreement is the tenant is required to do things as an occupant of the property. And one of them is to maintain the property as far as keeping it clean and maybe to weed the yard, things like that, that are listed as responsibilities of the tenant. So if, for example, in your lease, you're the tenant and you are responsible for keeping the yard weeded, and you never do that, and you now vacate the property at the end of your lease, then the owner, the landlord, can come back and charge you to have a landscaper come in and clean up that yard and weed the property, because that was something you were supposed to perform. You failed to do that, and so your deposit, your security, can be attached and money taken from that to help pay for the performance that you failed to perform. So hopefully those three additional definitions will make sense to you, and we will move on. Once again, thank you for participating today with me. My name is Mike Mulvaney, azlessor.com. Thank you.